finally, right? I think we can genuinely just say finally, right? This has been a problem for more than one season, bro. Andre Onana, finally. I think we can celebrate. I think we can be happy about this situation because we're getting rid of the players that are costing us games, bro. Onana has been that player costing us game week in, week out, month after month. Champions League, we remember what Onana did. Europa League, we remember what Onana did. And finally, we are almost free, right? It's not time to celebrate yet. I also want Altay Bindier to leave, but it's not time to genuinely celebrate yet because hearing the wording of what Fabrizio Romano had to say, he had a lot to say, right? So Onana is not over the line yet. We've seen so many deals where if it's down to the player rejects it, and then, but it's encouraging to know that, okay, some of these guys, I think both goalkeepers need to leave, Altay and Onana, but bro, we are almost free from these guys. We are almost free from Onana. Finally, bro. This guy has cost us so many games.
Bomba of the day is an exclusive news I dropped over the afternoon. Guys, maybe while you're watching this video, the deal is already done or collapsed. We will see. Let's see, because this can change any moment. But what I can tell you, at 5 p.m. Italy time, 4 p.m. UK time, is that there is an agreement between Trabzonspor in the Turkish Super League and Manchester United for Andre Onana. So agreement, club to club, done for Andre Onana to leave Manchester United and go on loan deal with part of the salary covered to Trabzonspor. This is the club to club agreement, Man United, Trabzonspor for Andre Onana. Green light from Man United. United are prepared to let him go. United are open to this, not creating any problem to Onana. They signed the Sané Lammens in the final days of the summer transfer window, and so they have Sané Lammens, they have Altay Bajindir, they have Tom Heaton, so it's already 3 goalkeepers.
So we have a lot of goalkeepers. So this situation of Onana or Bindier, it was going to happen eventually, but what Fabrizio Romano is saying is that it's just a loan, bro. It's just a loan, so probably he will come back. And Fabrizio Romano did say anything can happen with this deal, right? Anything can happen. It can collapse. It can't go through. So we just have to wait for it. Here we go. But at least, finally, the guy is almost gone. He's almost done and dusted at Manchester United. He's cost us so many games, bro. If you're looking back to the beginning of Andre Onana, I think Champions League, he's cost us so many games. Europa League, Premier League, you can't even count how many mistakes he's cost us with even 5 fingers. I genuinely think he's had more than 50 mistakes at Manchester United. I genuinely think that's how bad it's been with Andre Onana. So this is a statement, bro. This is amazing. Yes, it's just a loan move. But if it goes through, it's just a new life into the club, bro. Our boy Lamens, he's going to do what he needs to do. And with Man United, how can we move forward? We need to just start moving forward as a team, right? Bring in mentalities that want to win. Bring in people that are consistent. Onana wasn't consistent enough, bro.
Onana, who didn't start one single Premier League game, just starting in the League Cup. And so the message from Ruben Amorim was quite clear. Even in public, every time he was asked about Onana, Amorim was always mentioning a technical decision, not an injury, not recovery, not fitness, always mentioning a technical decision. So Bajindir starting was quite a strong message. Now Man United are prepared to let him go, to let Onana go, just 2 years after spending 55 million euros to sign him from Inter after that fantastic Champions League campaign in 2023. And now the idea of Trabzonspor is to close the deal as soon as possible. Now depends on Andre Onana. Is Andre Onana who has to say, okay, I want to stay at Man United, compete for my spot, I will not leave? Or, okay, I come to Trabzonspor, I will be the starting goalkeeper and I will prove everyone wrong.
So in this situation, you just have to force him out, bro. You just have to force him out. Don't put the decision in his hands. But something tells me that the deal's already done and dusted. Something in my heart just tells me, because you can even see the body language of Andre Onana in the past few days, even when he's going for international duty. There was a video where Andre Onana, you can see the body language. You can tell that, okay, he knows his time at Manchester United is over. But that's major for us, bro. That's major for us. That's major for Man United. That, okay, you can get rid of somebody like Andre Onana, but with United, there's always some type of drama, bro. There's always some type of drama. I just wanted to touch down on the Kobbie Mainoo situation. Apparently, Baleba, we'll also talk about that. Baleba, the links for Baleba are getting stronger now. And Cunha, the injury update, bro. Cunha, hey, we'll just talk about that a quick live stream. But yo, Kobbie Mainoo, man. Kobbie Mainoo looks like the drama with Kobbie Mainoo. I don't know how people feel because with Kobbie, of course, he's a talented individual. He's unbelievable, but there might be something behind the scenes between him and the manager. He's putting out small digs with about the situation that him and the manager, he needs more game time. But with Kobbie Mainoo, when they did give you game time, you didn't deliver, man. That's my only situation with Kobbie, right? When Ruben Amorim, he did give you game time against Grimsley Town, you were horrible, man. So the mindset of Kobbie, it's not in the right place, because that's why you gotta respect people like Ronaldo, man. Ronaldo, regardless of what's happening, regardless of who the manager is, the guy just wants to perform for him, bro. And that's the mindset Kobbie Mainoo needs to have, right? Where regardless of how you're feeling, regardless of who the manager is, regardless of what's genuinely going on, when you get given game time, you gotta perform, bro. That's why you gotta respect Ronaldo, bro, because regardless of whether he hates the manager or loves the manager, the man was always gonna turn up, right? With Kobbie Mainoo, he's making too many excuses now. Oh no, the manager this, the manager that, right? When you are given game time, you don't perform. Grimsley Town was an example, bro. So with Kobbie Mainoo, I think it's just down to you whether you succeed or not, bro. It's just down to you whether you succeed or not. I think right now, yes, you're not getting the game time you wanted to see, but the manager is giving you some type of game time. And as fans, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, bro. It might be an attitude problem. It might be a situation like Garnacho, right? We saw how Ruben Amorim dealt with the Garnacho situation, bro. Everybody agreed with him. So behind the scenes, we don't know whether it's an attitude problem from Kobbie Mainoo, whether it's just Kobbie Mainoo himself, the mindset of Kobbie Mainoo as well, because you can already see, bro, the guy is acting like a child just because of a few games, bro. A few games you're not playing, you're acting like a child. When they did give you game time, you didn't deliver, bro. It's down to you. It's down to you. Like, I know Ruben Amorim, he hasn't been the greatest manager we've had, right? He hasn't been a success so far. But this is a situation where I have to take his side and say, okay, yeah, Kobbie Mainoo, football is competitive, bro. You gotta show that you're ready for this task. You gotta show that you're gonna be the guy to take Manchester United forward. That's why you also have to blame the board this situation as well. Why didn't you buy a midfielder? A midfielder was the main guy you gotta bring in, right? A midfielder was the guy, because now you have a situation where you have Kobbie Mainoo. He doesn't want to play. You can see his body language every time he comes on, bro. Especially Grimsley Town. Grimsley Town, his body language, I don't want to be here. I don't want to play. And we're going to have that for majority of this season, bro. He's tapped out, Kobbie Mainoo. He's mentally, he's tapped out of the season, right? He doesn't want to play for Ruben Amorim. We can genuinely see it from his body language. And the board, we should have just signed a midfielder and then forgotten about this whole situation. Of course, Kobbie Mainoo, bro, he's talented, no doubt about it, bro. But when a player is tapped out, when a player doesn't really want to play, when their body language isn't really what you want to see, things like this are going to happen, bro. Things like this are going to happen. So Man United, we screwed ourselves by not really getting another midfielder, because by getting another midfielder, you could have sent him out on loan. That's the best situation for everybody, bro. Everyone, right? Kobbie Mainoo sending her out on loan. But Fabrizio Romano gave like another update on Baleba, bro. Baleba should have been the guy in the summer, but looks like he's gonna be some type of long-term deal, right? Some type of long-term deal.
Because I keep receiving many questions on Carlos Baleba, and I'm not surprised that Manchester United decided not to invest money on any other midfielder in the summer transfer window.
So Fabrizio Romano is saying, hey, he's not surprised that we didn't invest in any other midfielder, because Baleba will be another guy, another topic for Man United. Let's just hear a bit about what he has to say.
I'm not surprised, because I always told you here in the channel that my feeling is that Manchester United will keep their interest alive in 2026 for Carlos Baleba. They tried for Baleba in the summer transfer window this year. They tried, but from Brighton was a very clear no. They didn't want to sell the player. They didn't even want to indicate a price. So Man United at some point at the beginning of August were talking to Brighton and to the agents of the player. The player was keen on the move. But talking to Brighton, the approach was something like, okay, do you have a number? So we can think how to reach that number to try to get Carlos Baleba. But the answer from Brighton was no number, no price tag, nothing. We want to keep the player.
So it looks like Man United, they do have a game plan, right? Looks like this summer it was just a situation of where, okay, we can't get Baleba, let's just stick in with Kobbie Mainoo. Let's just ride it out with Casemiro. Let's just ride it out with Bruno Fernandes, right? I low-key agree with this decision, but you should have just paid the money, bro. You should have just paid the money, because January or the next summer transfer window, there's gonna be more competition for Baleba. He's gonna be priced out again. I see a situation where Brighton, they're even asking for 130, 120 million just for Baleba, bro. So I think low-key we have screwed ourselves, because you could have gotten somebody else. I understand the situation. We only want to go for our first targets, but we're in a dire situation where midfield is so disorganized, bro. Kobbie Mainoo doesn't want to play for the manager. You can see inconsistency from other midfielders like Ugarte. So our midfield situation was so bad, you can't be making decisions like this, man.
And so it was impossible to proceed for Baleba. But I can tell you that for 2026, the idea of Manchester United remains Carlos Baleba. So I'm sure that he will not be cut off the list of Manchester United for 2026. They were very happy with the enthusiasm of the player in opening the doors to Manchester United, even without Champions League football, even without European football. Baleba was very open to joining Man United, and the club really appreciated that. For Ruben Amorim, he is considered the perfect midfielder. I told you several times how Ruben Amorim wants intensity in midfield, and Carlos Baleba is seen as the perfect player for the next step of the project.
So with Carlos Baleba, I don't think he's just a Ruben Amorim player. I think he can play for pretty much any manager, bro, because he is talented, he is skilled, and we've seen him in the Premier League, bro, delivering in the Premier League. With Carlos Baleba, he also wants to play for Man United, so that's another positive. We should have genuinely gone for this guy. I don't know why and who said, yo, Man United, don't go for Carlos Baleba. He should have been a target. He should have been the guy you go for. He should have been your main guy. So we missed out on that guy. My viewpoint is, hey, it is what it is. Ruben Amorim, let's see how good he is developing players, because you have a player like Sekou Kone. I think give Sekou Kone a chance. Give him the opportunity, man. If you give Sekou Kone an opportunity, I think he can deliver, no doubt about it. I know some people are saying, hey, Kobbie Mainoo, build the team around Kobbie, do this, do that, because I don't think that's gonna be the best situation, bro. Kobbie Mainoo, I do think we overrate him a bit, right? He's a good player, but he's not the player you build a midfield around, bro, because one, he won't control the midfield. Two, his passing is a bit limited, right? So with Kobbie Mainoo, I think as fans, we overrate him. We overrate him a lot, man, because We talk about him like he's Frankie de Jong, and he's nowhere near that level, bro. Even talent-wise, he's nowhere near that level, right? We have to keep it real. Baleba needs to be the guy. Baleba needs to be the guy. Yo, shout out, bro. Shout out. Thanks for the support. Shout out, bro. Baleba needs to be the guy, bro. Baleba needs to be the guy. Like, we need to just build a team that can compete. Because long term, I don't see Kobbie Mainoo carrying this team, bro. Kobbie Mainoo is good to be like a side chick, right? A side guy, but not your main guy in the midfield controlling things like that. I'd rather have somebody like Adam Wharton, a Baleba. Those are the types of midfielders you build around. But right now, Kobbie Mainoo, as fans, we overrate him a bit. Yes, Kobbie Mainoo, he's gonna get some goals. He's gonna get some. He's gonna have some great moments. But overall, is Kobbie Mainoo the guy that you're gonna rely on to control the midfield for you, to dictate games for you? Kobbie Mainoo is not that type of midfielder. Those are the types of midfielders you build around, bro. That's why I'm really, really disappointed that we didn't go for Richard Rios 30 million. He would have been a great alternative. But hey, it is what it is. Sekou Kone, let's see. The manager, bro, you gotta give Sekou Kone a chance, because I do think, yes, people are saying, hey, Sekou Kone isn't as talented as Kobbie Mainoo, but I disagree, bro. I disagree. I think Sekou Kone, once he develops, he's gonna be miles ahead of Kobbie Mainoo. Miles, bro. We can already see why the manager rates him, bro. Why the manager genuinely rates him. Yo, shout out, bro. Shout out. So shout out Cape Town. Shout out Sierra Leone, bro. Like, shout out, bro. Shout out for the support, man. Shout out for the support, bro. But hey, we can see why the manager, sorry, not the manager. We can see why Jason Wilcox rates somebody like a Sekou Kone, bro. Like, if you just see some of it, I know it's unrealistic to judge someone based on academy games, but from his academy games, from the preseason, we saw him in preseason, one of the games, bro. When we were in Asia, one of the games in Asia, we saw Sekou Kone. This guy is brilliant, bro. This guy is brilliant. I think talent-wise, he has more talent than Kobbie Mainoo, bro. Just get Sekou Kone into the team. Let's forget about Kobbie Mainoo this, Kobbie Mainoo that. This cash in while it's hot, right? I think summer transfer window cash in on Kobbie Mainoo while he's still hot, while people still rate him. Because I see Kobbie Mainoo becoming another Ansu Fati where, yes, you have talent, but just because of your mentality, you don't make it at the top level, man. I genuinely see that for Kobbie Mainoo, bro. We overrate him as fans. I think he's a good player, but he's not world class, bro. He's not world class. He's nowhere near world class. But yeah, I just wanted to touch down on that Kobbie Mainoo situation, the Baleba situation. But also, looks like Cunha is coming back, bro. Looks like Cunha is coming back. This is Matthias Cunha on his Instagram post. At least he's doing some individual training, and the caption was, "Time is flying." The time is flying. So Cunha, hey, we might see him even before Man City, bro. Man City, let's see. A lot of the players come back from international training by Thursday. A lot of the players that are on their international breaks are gonna come back. So by Thursday, we'll have a realistic viewpoint on when Cunha comes back, bro. So this is Cunha, the caption on Instagram, yo, the time is flying. So he's doing individual training, he's getting ready, and by this caption, it looks like his return is around the corner. I wouldn't be shocked if he's playing against Manchester City, bro. The guy is doing individual training, the guy is training at home. So with Cunha, nothing to really worry about, right? Nothing to really worry about. The man, his comeback is really close, bro. It's extremely close. So this is encouraging, bro. This is encouraging because we are gonna need this guy especially for a game like Manchester City, a Chelsea game as well. Those are the games you're going to need your top players. Those are the games you're going to need guys like Cunha, guys like Mbeumo. Let's just build a foundation. If we can get a result in that Manchester derby, bro, it's major. Manchester derby, Chelsea, you gotta... let's hope we win, bro. Let's hope we win. Yeah, bro, it's encouraging to see that, hey, some of our players are coming back, bro. Guys like Cunha, come on, man. We need all our fire guys against Manchester City. That Manchester derby, we gotta be turning up. And it's not like it's unrealistic for us to beat Man City, bro. Let's just give a viewpoint. We're above them in the table. Brighton beat them. Tottenham beat them. And last season, we beat Manchester City, bro. So this season, it's not unrealistic, man. It's not unrealistic to go to really beat Manchester City. And I think it's going to be at home, right? So it's a home game. Bro, Manchester derby. We need all our guys fully fit, bro. Let's see what the manager does for that game, because Sesko, he's doing his thing for his country, international break, this and that. I just want some of the players to come back a bit earlier, all right? Come back a bit earlier from this international break so that we can prepare for this Manchester derby, bro. But it's good to see that Sesko might be back for that game, bro. He might be back for that game. And it's highly anticipated. Obviously, that's a game where you lose, everything is amazing. Oh, sorry, you lose, everything is horrible. You win, everything is amazing. So the Manchester derby is going to be a highly, bro, impactful game, because if we lose that game, bro, the pressure just piles on. The pressure just piles on. If we win that game, the confidence you can get from such a win, it's major, bro. It's major, because after Manchester City, you have Chelsea. So the games, bro, they keep coming. Let's hope. I just want this international break to end so that we can watch games like the Manchester derby, Man United versus Chelsea. Those are two back-to-back games where we're going with a mentality of winning. I think everybody wants to win that game, bro. The manager, the players. It'll be disappointing if the manager and the players don't genuinely get some points from that game. But let's just have the mentality of, hey, this is Manchester United. We can beat anybody in this league at our best, regardless of whether the manager is delivering or not. I think we have players that can deliver. And another injury update is just on Mason Mount. He's going to be out for a while. So Mason Mount, he's going to be out for a while. Diego Dalot, he got an injury. International duty. So that's why I hate the international break, man. Some of our players are going to get injured. Of course, Diego Dalot, fans don't really like him, but he's still another body, man. He's still another body. He can come off the bench, do this, do that. This is just, I think the Diego Dalot injury, it's a positive and a negative at the same time, man. It's a positive knowing that, okay, Diego Dalot, he won't start the next game. He won't start in the Manchester derby, but it's a negative in the aspect of, okay, if you get another injury, you don't have somebody like a Diego Dalot that can cover multiple positions, bro. He can cover right back, he can cover left back, he can cover right wing back, he can cover left wing back. So it's also a negative in that viewpoint, but it's a positive that, yo, the next game, Diego Dalot won't genuinely be starting, bro. And we know Diego in the big games, sometimes he turns up, sometimes he's a liability. So let's see, man. It's a major game for Amad Diallo. It's a major game for everybody, bro, because even Pep Guardiola, I think after the game he lost, looks like he's going to try and prove himself against Man United. He wants to bounce back. Man United need a win. Man City need a win. So, hey, this is going to be this is going to be an entertaining game. I won't even lie. Manchester derby, bro, both teams need a win. Both teams want to win. And with Man City, if they lose this, I think the title race is over, bro. I genuinely think the title race is over. So just great to see that Cunha is back, fit, and ready for this one. Right? Cunha ready for this one. It's great to just see that, okay, he's going to be ready. He's going to be firing for this Manchester derby, doing some individual training. So we just we just hope and pray the best situation comes out of this, right? The best scenario comes out of this, because Manchester derbies, we all want to win. We all want to go to that next level. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I also just wanted to give credit to Brian Mbeumo, man. Brian Mbeumo, he's been our signing of the season. I can't even lie, because mentality, the guy has it. I think consistency, he's going to bring some consistency. Goals, he's already bringing some goals. So you can see that Brian Mbeumo, I think he's been the signing of the summer. Let's see how long he's going to be consistent for. But, bro, what a player, Brian Mbeumo. What a player, man, because we've been asking for somebody like this, a guy with the mentality to turn up week in, week out. And with Brian Mbeumo, the delivery, even for Cameroon, you see the delivery, the assists are gonna be there, the goals are gonna be there. So Brian Mbeumo, he got the player of the month, goal of the month, things like that. So happy for him. But overall, let's see how long he's gonna be consistent for, right? Let's hope this is not just a purple patch. He starts well and then the rest of the season is not great. But I think he's a quality player, Brian Mbeumo, quality player. He's going to be impactful for Manchester United. Manchester derby, he's going to be one of our main guys. I think Brian Mbeumo, just build around this guy, man. Build around this guy. That's a proper player for me. I know a lot of fans were saying, hey, why did we sign Brian Mbeumo? We already have Ahmad. But we gotta keep it real, bro. We need as much quality as possible, right? Having Brian Mbeumo and Amad Diallo, that's really proper. That's how a proper team moves, bro. That's how Real Madrid move. That's how Barcelona are moving. And I also just wanted to talk about Rashford. Rashford at Barca, apparently they're ready to send him back, right? After the season ends, we might see Rashford come back. It hasn't been great for Marcus Rashford at Barca. He hasn't delivered at all. he genuinely hasn't delivered. He's looked out of place. And people are saying, hey, Rashford is going to cook in La Liga. Rashford is going to cook at Barca. But La Liga is harder than people think, bro. La Liga is harder than people think. People think, hey, every Premier League player is going to hit the ground running in La Liga. La Liga is eating Rashford alive, bro. So Marcus Rashford, it might be a situation where we might see this guy return. Let's see, man. Let's see. I'm just begging for some type of consistency from the team after this international break. Winners gets maybe 4 out of 5 wins. I know that's a bit unrealistic because we were playing Chelsea, we're playing Man City. But, bro, I don't want another situation like last season where you're failing to win back-to-back games. You're failing to get back-to-back results, back-to-back 3 points, right? We need to start building a mentality of, okay, this is Manchester United. We need to go back to the top. Next season shouldn't be another season where you're in the bottom half of the table. This season shouldn't be another season where you're in the bottom half. You're failing to get back-to-back wins. And with Ruben, I think the next 2 months are going to determine whether he stays or goes, bro. Because with him, I've already made it clear, man. If he's not bringing us consistency, he needs to be fired. There are other managers. You can get guys like Inzaghi, go to Saudi, bring him in, because I think he brings us consistency, he brings us results, and he makes us competent. And you can see that the levels have really gone down because of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has really brought down the levels, because with the Glazers, it was minimum top 4. At least with the Glazers, you trusted them enough to say, okay, if a manager doesn't get top 4, they do get fired. But now Sir Jim Ratcliffe, bro, a manager can get 15th. He can have a 20-something% the win rate and still keep his job. That's really crazy. with the Glazers, I think Ruben Amorim would have been fired a long time ago. So with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's like he has no plan. He has no realistic targets. He has no targets for the manager. He has no targets for Manchester United. It's so disorganized under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Because at least with the Glazers, they said, yo, top four, hey, if you don't get top four, you're going to lose your job. They gave managers targets. And that's why the managers in previous times, they were really doing everything to get top four. Right now, you can see that Ruben Amorim, he's just moving like anything, like it doesn't really matter, bro. That's how Ruben Amorim is moving. He's moving like nothing really matters, bro. Because regardless of whether he gets top four or not, he's gonna stay in the job, bro. Which is sad to see, man. The levels have really declined. The levels have really declined, because if this was the Glazer, the manager would have been pushing for top four. The manager would have been pushing for something like third or fourth or even second, right? He would have been pushing for that. But now that you have Sir Jim Ratcliffe, a man that doesn't put standards, a man that doesn't put targets, the manager's moving however he wants to move, bro. Previously, managers, they used to put their life on their line for top four. We saw Jose Mourinho. He put his life on the line for top four. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he put his line on the... Bro, even Ten Hag in the first 2 seasons, the man was pushing for top four, all right? With Ruben Amorim, it's like, bro, we haven't set targets for this man. And that's the wrong mentality you should have as a club. You need to set some standards, some targets for the manager, so that, hey, if the manager doesn't reach these targets, you part ways, bro. That's how a top-level team actually moves. That's how a top-level club actually moves. If Ruben Amorim was at Barca or Real Madrid, bro, this guy would be gone long time ago. So we need to put standards. We need to put targets for the manager. All right? I think this is a club. This is Manchester United. We shouldn't be thinking about, top 6, top 5. That's below average for a club like Manchester United, right? Because realistically, Ruben Amorim is the one that put us in a situation where we're saying, top 5, top 6 should be the target, because he got 15th, bro. He got the 15th. You're saying Arsenal still have Arteta, but Arteta, bro, Arsenal and Man United, the levels are different, bro. That's the wrong mentality to have, saying, hey, Arsenal still have Arteta. Arsenal and Man United, the levels are different. Man United are like Real Madrid and Barca, bro. You're saying they gave him time. Ruben Amorim needs 3 seasons. Bro, he doesn't need 3 seasons, bro. He doesn't need 3 seasons to deliver, because already the quality is below average from Ruben Amorim. The quality is below average. He's one of the worst managers in Premier League history. I'm keeping it real, because if this was Frank Lampard, if this was even Southgate, people would be, if Ruben Amorim was British, people would have saying Ruben Amorim needs to leave. You can't have a 24% win rate and still keep your job. So I think fans have lost their standards, bro. Fans have lost their standards. You're giving him time. You're giving Ruben Amorim too much time to destroy Manchester United. It should be about Man United before anything else, bro. We're not the Man United we were because of fans, bro. Because as fans, we're not really holding people like the Glazers to a standards, bro. We're not holding Sir Jim Ratcliffe to the standards, bro. You shouldn't say we need to lose that mentality of we are Man United, bro. We are Manchester United. We shouldn't lose that mentality, bro. You shouldn't lose that winning mentality. That's when you start losing, bro. That's how somebody like AC Milan, that's how they fell from grace, because fans stopped holding it accountable, bro. You're saying we'll never succeed if we keep on comparing ourselves to the old United. I think that's how you keep the standards, bro. That's how you keep the standards. You're saying can't blame fans. We've been protesting. That's why you have to blame fans, because the protests haven't been consistent. One day you protest, and then the next day you don't protest. The next day you're buying merchandise. It's inconsistent, bro. It's inconsistent. As fans, we have to blame ourselves a bit, because we have to hold some of these owners accountable, right? Sir Jim Ratcliffe has come in. He's not really holding Ruben Amorim accountable. Ruben Amorim, the target should be top 4. As fans, we always lower the targets, lower the expectations. We always lower ourselves. The mindset should be, okay, the manager has to deliver some type of thing. Yes, that's why we need to hold the board accountable, bro. We need to hold this board accountable as fans, bro. Sometimes that's why we've declined so much, because fans will just accept anything the Glazers will do. We're going to accept anything Sir Jim Ratcliffe does. Oh no, let's give Sir Jim Ratcliffe time. Let's give Ruben Amorim time. Bro, this is how you decline as a football club. If these guys were at Barcelona, they get fired, bro. If Sir Jim was like the Barcelona president, this guy's voted out already, bro. They're gonna vote him out already, right? Ruben Amorim, he gets fired already. So we need to keep that mentality of we are Manchester United, right? 6th place, 5th place, it's not good enough, bro. Even 4th place, we've made this good enough, bro. So Alex Ferguson is looking at this and saying, what is this? Manchester United failing to win back-to-back games? Manchester United keeping a manager with 25% win rate? What is this, bro? What is this? This is not Man United, bro. This is not Man United. You're saying, how do we give Ten Hag a contract and sack him? That's why I'm saying we have to blame the board as well, bro. It's been so disorganized under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, bro. I agree with you. Why do you give him a new contract and then sack him, bro? You should have sacked him before the contract, bro. You should have sacked him earlier. So we have to hold some of these guys accountable. I don't think sacking Ten Hag was the biggest mistake. I think he had to go, but you can see that the board was so disorganized, right? The way they hired Ruben Amorim, it was so disorganized, because sources were saying Inzaghi was our main guy. We approached Inzaghi before approaching Ruben Amorim, and then Inzaghi turned us down because he wanted to reach a Champions League final, which he did. He reached a Champions League final with Inter Milan. So Man United, we approached Inzaghi first. He turned us down. He stayed at Inter Milan. Then we went for Ruben Amorim. So you can see that the board, we have to hold these guys accountable, bro. We have to hold the board accountable. They're so disorganized. Today you do this, tomorrow you do that. It's so disorganized, because we're going to have another situation where Ruben Amorim, you keep him for too long and then you fire him in September, and then it's another situation like last season where the new manager comes in middle of the season. It's just disorganized, bro. So what I'm saying is, as fans, we have to hold Sir Jim Ratcliffe accountable, bro. Right? The way we hold the Glazers accountable, you have to hold Sir Jim Ratcliffe accountable, bro. Because the way he's moving is so disorganized. It is so disorganized. Even with the midfield situation, right? The midfield situation, we're moving it so disorganized, bro. You know that you need a midfielder. You leave it to the last minute, and then the last minute, you get priced out of Baleba. So you can see that these guys, they don't know what they're doing, bro. They do not know what they're doing. Yes, they've done some good things, selling players, this and that. But that's what an average board does, bro. Right? That's what we should expect these guys to sell our bad players. That's what a normal board does. That's what normal board of directors do, bro. Right? You should expect Sir Jim Ratcliffe to sell the players we don't need. You should expect these guys to sell the guys we don't genuinely need. So that's what normal board, even guys at Brighton, that's what they do, bro. They sell the players they don't need, right? That's basic. That's basic things, bro. So we shouldn't praise them for doing basic things. Oh no, but they sold the players we don't need. That's what every club does, right? That's what every club does. Even at Brighton, things like that happen. When they don't need a player, when a player is toxic, they sell them. So we shouldn't praise the board. Oh no, but they sold Garnacho. They sold the players we don't need. That's what every club does, bro. And that's the minimum your board should be doing. So they're just so disorganized, right? The way they've handled the manager, the way they've handled the midfield situation, and just the way they're handling things. You can see that. So I commend them. I commend them that, okay, yeah, Dan Ashworth, you saw that Dan Ashworth wasn't the guy, and then you fire him immediately. But it shows you that they don't really know what they're doing. Today you appoint this guy, and then you fire him after. You give Erik ten Hag a new contract, and then you fire him after. So you can see so many disorganized situation, bro. I agree with you, bro. Our club does need stability, bro. Our club does need stability. You saying you've been supporting Manchester United since you're a child. You're 30 years old now, bro. Our club does need some type of stability. And after Sir Alex Ferguson left, that stability left with him, bro. It's left with him. Because we're so disorganized.
Because I keep receiving many questions on Carlos Baleba, and I'm not surprised that Manchester United decided not to invest money on any other midfielder in the summer transfer window. I'm not surprised because I always told you here in the channel that my feeling is that Manchester United will...
So, bro, the Carlos Baleba situation was another disorganized situation, bro. So the board... they've let us down time and time again, bro. Time and time again. That's why I'm saying, as fans, let's just try and hold these guys accountable. Even the manager, bro. Even the manager. The manager, until he delivers something, he shouldn't be irreplaceable, bro. Like, that's the mindset we should have as fans. Those are the standards we should have as fans, right? Until a manager, a player, even the players, we shouldn't... we should hold them to accountable, bro. Everybody at the club, we should hold them accountable. The players, the manager, the board. Bro, until these guys deliver something, until Sir Jim Ratcliffe delivers you a Premier League, a Champions League, you shouldn't say, hey, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is amazing, bro. Because you should hold these guys accountable until they deliver, right? So Jim Ratcliffe, hold him accountable until he delivers, man. Hold the players accountable until they deliver. Man United, we love doing this. We overhype players that haven't really done anything, right? Anthony came in, we're overhyping him. Sancho came in, we're overhyping him. So players, managers as well, bro. Managers come in, we overhype them, they leave without doing a lot, man. So with Erik ten Hag, I understand why people are loyal to the guy. Okay, he won us some trophies, he backed up his word, but until Ruben Amorim delivers a trophy, man, I'm not gonna say he's the man for the job, right? Until he delivers a trophy, I'm not gonna say he's the guy, he's irreplaceable, he should be here for a lifetime. Everybody needs to deliver before we start backing them 100%, man. Of course, I'm backing the manager. I want the guy to succeed. But we need these guys to do something before we back them aimlessly, man. I want Ruben Amorim to succeed, no doubt about it. I want him to succeed, but until his win rate improves, we can't genuinely say, hey, this is the right guy for Man United, because it's going to be another season. Let's hope it's not another season like last season where we finish in the bottom half of the table. Let's hold all these people accountable. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the manager, the players, all of them, bro, all of them. Not just one, all right? Not just, oh, you hold the players accountable, but not the manager. You hold the manager accountable, but not the players. They needs to be balanced, bro. They needs to be balanced. So let's hope we win against Manchester City. Let's hope we go over the line against Chelsea City game, and let's see what happens. But overall, good that Cunha is almost coming back. Good that Mbeumo has been a signing. You're saying you're so excited for what's to come. You do see some good things. Of course, there are some good things, bro. Obviously, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I'm not saying that he's done everything bad, right? Everything that he's done is bad. There are some good things. Getting rid of Onana, that's a massive positive. Getting rid of the players you don't need, but every club does that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Let's not praise Sir Jim Ratcliffe for doing what every club does. Even at Brighton, they get rid of players they don't need, right? Every club does this, bro. It should be basic for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to get rid of the players you don't need, right? Chelsea do this, Man City do this, every club does this, right? I don't know why we're praising Sir Jim and Omar Barada for selling players you don't genuinely need. That's basic, bro. That is basic, but there are some good things. There are some good things happening. You're saying that's why we need to give time now. Then I don't think giving time is necessarily the solution, bro. Right? Giving time is necessary because time is earned, right? At the top level, time is earned. At any level in life, time is earned. Because with Erik ten Hag, I understand why we gave him time. He earned that time by winning a Carabao Cup. He earned some time by winning an FA Cup, right? Erik ten Hag earned some time. With Ruben Amorim, he needs to earn the time, bro. He needs to earn the time. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he earned the time by getting top 4. So these other managers, they earn time, bro. They earn, time is earned, bro. We shouldn't just give Ruben Amorim time, Sir Jim Ratcliffe time because of just giving them time, bro. Time is earned, bro. Time is earned. Yeah, bro. We need... I think Lamens would do well, bro. I genuinely think, Lamens, he is gonna do well. But going back to my point, time is earned in football, man. Let's not just say, hey, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he needs time. The Ruben Amorim, he needs time. Because previous managers, they had to earn time. That's why I'm saying under the Glazers, there were more expectations. Expectations for the manager. The Glazers told the managers that, hey, if you don't get top 4, you're fired. That's how they were earning themselves time. Time is earned, man. Time is earned. So let's not just give Ruben Amorim time just for giving him time, right? Because fans, even if he finishes the 15th again, we're going to give him time. That shouldn't be the mindset, man. This is Man United. He should only be given time if he achieves like top 4 or something. So that should be the mindset at a club like Man United. We need to be moving the way Real Madrid are moving, the way Barcelona are moving. That's how we need to be moving, bro. Because it's working for Barca, it's working for Real Madrid, it's working for big clubs, bro. Even at Liverpool, they wouldn't have given Ruben Amorim this much time. At Man City, they wouldn't have given Ruben Amorim this much time. So we need to be moving like other big clubs, bro. That's why we're failing, bro. This is why we've been failing for over 10 years. You're giving managers 3 years, 2 years to fail, bro. It's too much time, bro. It's too much time. We need to be moving like other big clubs. Barcelona, they see what you're doing. You earn your time. Real Madrid, you earn your time. Man City, you earn your time. All these other big clubs. Liverpool, you earn your time. All these other big clubs. Arsenal are not a big club, bro. Arsenal are not a big club. Let's not compare ourselves to Arsenal. Oh no, but Mikel Arteta was given time. Arsenal, that's why they are failing. We need to compare ourselves to clubs that are winning. Clubs that are doing something right, bro. Because if Ruben Amorim was at Man City, they fire him already. Right? If he was at Liverpool, they fire him already. If he was at Real Madrid, they fire him already. If he was at Barcelona, they fire him already. So we need to compare ourselves to clubs that are winning, bro. Arsenal are not a club we should be comparing ourselves to, bro, because these guys are always losing, right? That's why they're losing, because they give their manager too much time, right? We should compare ourselves to winners like Real Madrid, winners like Barcelona, winners like Man City. Those are the people you need to build a blueprint towards, bro. I think that should be the mentality from every fan. Okay, let's have the standards of how Man United should be. I think we got so carried away to having Sir Alex Ferguson, but the era of having one manager for a long period, I think it's gone. Because even look at Man City. City fans, they want Pep Guardiola out. after he won them a treble, after he won them all this and that. But if he was at Man United, people would have been saying, give him more time. I think Ruben Amorim, the luxury of time is earned. Having a 20-something% win rate, you can't give a man like that time. You cannot give a man like that time. We need to compare ourselves to clubs that are winning. Let's not compare ourselves to Arsenal, because these guys are losers, man. Arsenal are failures. Let's not compare ourselves to failures, bro. You're saying the chosen one wasn't given time. Oli wasn't given time. Van Gaal wasn't given time. Bro, they were given a lot of time. 3 years is a lot of time, bro. At other clubs, you're not given time, bro. You're not given time. Pep did it. Pep earned time, bro. That's what you're failing to hear. Klopp and Pep, these guys earned time by delivering. You think if Pep was finishing 15th, failing to win back-to-back games, he's given time at Man City? He's not given time at Man City, bro. Let's be real. If Pep was moving the way Ruben Amorim was moving, they fire him. If Klopp was moving the way Ruben Amorim is moving, failing to win back-to-back games, they fire him, bro. So we need to compare ourselves to clubs that are winning, bro. Let's not compare ourselves to Arsenal. Oh, no, but Arsenal kept Mikel Arteta. That's why they're not winning, bro. We need to compare ourselves to clubs that are genuinely winning. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, Liverpool. Those are clubs we need to compare ourselves to, man. Those are clubs we need to start moving like. So, yes, Sir Jim Ratcliffe did some good things, bro. He did some amazing things, getting rid of players we don't need, but those are basic things, bro. Every club does that. Every club gets rid of a player they don't need. Those are basic things to happen, bro. We shouldn't be praising them for basics, right? So, bro, let's just raise some of the standards at Man United, bro. You're saying Ruben Amorim came in the middle of the season in a toxic and stupid board. We understand that, but football doesn't really care about context, bro. Because it's not about, the toxic board, that's why he got 15th place. Sometimes it's his tactics. Sometimes we've seen Ruben Amorim throw away some big games, bro. Either because of weird substitutions or weird tactics. Why is he consistently back in this two in the midfield? Right, the back three, this formation, bro. It's really taking us backwards. Because yes, some games you win, but some games you get dominated in the midfield. Your midfield gets cooked because of this formation, because of these tactics, bro. So we have to hold the man accountable. We need to move the way big clubs are moving, bro. The way big clubs, other big clubs, they hold the manager accountable. Why are you playing two in the midfield? Why are you playing this formation that isn't working? Why you keep doing this? Why you keep selecting players that are not delivering? So we need to hold everybody accountable. The players, the manager. Let's move like a big team, bro. Right now, we're moving like Arsenal. Oh, no, it's okay. It is what it is. We need to be moving like Man City, Real Madrid. These big teams, bro. Barcelona. At Barcelona, this wouldn't be accepted, bro. Real Madrid, this wouldn't be accepted, bro. A manager with 20-something% win rate, and you're still saying, oh, no, maybe he just needs time. It wouldn't be accepted, bro. We need to move like a big club. We are a big club. This is Manchester United. I think the mentality of every fan has really decreased. That's why the levels have decreased as well, man. That's why the levels have decreased as well. You're saying second a manager puts us further back. It doesn't put other clubs backwards, bro. Look at other clubs. Bro, Real Madrid have been winning season after season just because they fire a manager after 6 months, after 8 months. That's how you should be moving. Barcelona, eventually you'll get it right. I think we take too long with managers. We take too long with managers and we don't select the right ones, right? That's the main thing with Man United. You don't select the right managers, right? It's the same with players. Our scouting for players is bad. Our scouting for managers is bad. That's why it's a consistent cycle of failure, right? Because the balance isn't there, bro. The balance isn't there. When we had Paul Pogba, he was playing next to bums, bro. He was playing next to average players. When you sign somebody like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the player next to him is basic. So there's no balance with Man United. With managers, you're selecting the managers past their best. Louis van Gaal past his best. Jose Mourinho past his best. You're selecting managers without experience like Ruben Amorim. Bro, it's a mess. So the scouting is also bad with managers, bro. Yeah, we're not big in, we're a big brand, but we're still big in football, bro. Let's just be real. We are still big in football because football players still want to play for us. So that just genuinely shows you that you're big in football as well, bro. Football players still want to play for us. But all I got to say is that let's just hold these people accountable, man. The board, everybody, man. The board, the manager, the players, let's hold them accountable, bro, because this is not Man United, bro. Everybody needs to be held accountable. I think the scouting for managers has been poor. You're getting managers without experience. Ruben Amorim doesn't have a lot of experience in management, bro. That's why you can see he's learning on the job. He's learning on the job. That's why you can see that it's inconsistent, highly inconsistent. Management is almost being like a player, bro. The inconsistencies will come because he lacks experience, right? We don't have time to be backing a guy that's inexperienced, bro, right? We need to go either for somebody like Glasner that knows what he's doing, that knows the Premier League, not only knows the Premier League, but knows about management, has experience. Experience is the biggest thing in life, bro. That's something you can buy, right? So right now you can see that Ruben Amorim, he's gaining his experience at Man United. He lacks experience at the top level, right? I don't consider the Portuguese the league the top level, bro. He lacks experience, and you can see it in some of the games. His lack of experience in management, you can see it in some of the games. So experience is the best thing you can buy in life. It's the best thing you can have in life, bro. Experience. And that's what he lacks. He's a young manager, lack of experience. So I'm not even surprised that he has this type of win rate because he lacks so much experience. He's not Pep Guardiola in his prime, because Pep, that guy was winning consistently, right? With Ruben, most managers, you don't see this part of their career because they go to like a championship, they go to this level. Ruben lacks experience at the top level, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But big up, man. Big up, ish. Let's